incredible women here. And on behalf of Karnataka Postal Circle, I would really thank Shri Women. And it's a matter of great pride that we are releasing this set of picture postcards recognizing the contribution of women in the Constitution. So if you look at it, in a country of say 140 crores population, maybe 50% or plus, 60-65 crores is the population of women. And ironically, Indian women represent around 17% of the world's female population. So that itself is a big statistics to tell us how important it is for women to be in the leadership roles at every level. They need to have a say in politically, economically, socially. Because when they have a voice, they bring to the table very different perspectives, very different priorities and different experiences. So inclusivity is what women bring in. And it's mostly when we say that Nordic countries or Scandinavian countries fare very well in all the women parameters, gender equality parameters. So this cannot be a coincidence that they rank very high in happiness indices, and women have a very important role. They are a major part of the workforce, and they are represented very well in the politically also in their parliaments. I also would, I'm reminded of quote from Barack Obama. In one of his speeches, he had said that the true character of a country actually is represented on how the minorities are dealt in that country. So women in our country are not a minority, but they need to be treated with lot of respect and inclusivity, and they definitely need to be included in all the spheres of life. Thank you.
Constitution is just the first three words of our Constitution, which says, we the people. It belongs to us before it belongs to anybody. The idea of this project is to tell people and make people understand and make people believe that this Constitution belongs to us, we the people. It doesn't belong to only people who sit in the parliament or in the high courts or in the Supreme Court. They were all people first. And with the story of these women, hopefully it will reach out to the young generation as well to connect and understand that the Constitution, which gives us the freedom that we are enjoying today, came with centuries of struggle. It's a product of centuries of struggle by both men and women. And today we should not make the mistakes of the past generations who have forgotten these contributions. So I would like to end with a clip, a voice, a very important piece from our history. This is one of the women who are featured on the postcard. If you'd like to guess who, I'll answer in the end. With your permission, I'll just play a clip. So this clip is from 14th August 1947, when our national flag was adopted and presented to the country.
Present this flag to the nation through you. I have a list here of nearly 100 prominent women of all communities who have expressed a desire to associate themselves with this ceremony. There are hundreds and hundreds of other women who equally like to participate in this country. It is in the business of things that this first flag that will fly over this August house should be a gift to all the women of India.
Postcard? No. Wrong answers. One more guess? No. One more. It's here. No. You can. No. This. No. It shows why these postcards are important. This is the voice of Hansa Mehta, who presented the first Indian flag which flew on independent India on 15th August 1947. And she says it's a gift from the women of India. And yet again, we have forgotten these women. Maithili Madhusudanan, who also goes by the name The Big Fat Bow, has illustrated these beautifully in a very short period. She's in Bombay. In fact, we've not even met. So it just happened because she liked the project and instantly wanted to support this. And more importantly, the
International Women's Day to organize this unique event. As you all know, this is the 75th year of the adoption of our Constitution. And there are a lot of plans approved for during this year related to the Constitution. Just a couple of weeks back, we had released a special cover on the Constitution on the occasion of the conference that was organized in the palace grounds. That also is thanks to the efforts of Reclaim Constitution. And during that discussion, we had come up with this idea of releasing this special covers, special picture postcards of the founding mothers of our Constitution. Now, if you see globally, equality is an issue. Gender equality is, I think, a special case of the gender of equality. In today's world, more or less, it is taken for granted that all are equal. But if you see the evolution of our societies, now way back, let's say 2,000 years back, let's say Athens was supposed to be the cradle ground for the democracy, where you had direct democracy in use and in practice. And there also you find that all men were equal. Yes, it's only all men were equal. And again, among the men, it is only those men who are having property. So it came down, 50% of the women were left out. Another 30% were left out because they were all, they were not property owners. So it's essentially that democracy was of 20% of the people, if you really see. So that was the extent of the inequality, and we find that this has been extended till very recently also. Even in the last century, women in many countries were left out of the, suffrage. Now there are so many suffrage movements, and in fact, the International Women's Day was a consequence of some of these movements in 1911, the suffrage movement. Now, therefore, equality is something that one needs to be concerned about, and although now we have on paper equality, that has to be seen in practice. Even now, you do have a lot of representation of women in public offices, but many times we see that there is no active participation. You find that some of the women are, are represented there because of the reservation. So that should not happen. You should have the real participation of the women in all walks of life. And coming to this specific issue of the matter of the Constituent Assembly, there is about around 17 of the members out of 389 were women. Out of them, 2 of them have left as a consequence of the partition. So 15 were what was left behind, and out of these 15, it is 11 who have actually signed the Constitution, because 2 of them were not in the Constitution Assembly at that time, because Vijayalakshmi Pandit was away, as I think representative of the United Nations, and then Sarojini Naidu were expired by then, and two others were also not. Yeah, so no, that was out of the 17. But the other two also. So it was ultimately 11 signatories of in the women signatories in the Constitution. All of them have been remarkable women. If you can see in this, along with this picture postcard, there is a booklet that comes along with picture postcards, and we have brief biographies of these women, and each of these picture postcards has got a QR code by scanning which one can view this online also, and the information will be available in Kannada, Hindi and English. So remarkable women you will find here in these who are represented here. Like for example, this three of them of course have got stamps. That is Sarojini Naidu, Rajkumari Amrit Kaur, Durgabai Deshmukh, Vijay Lakshmi Pandit. These are the four who have got postage stamps issued, and hopefully there is some proposal to get postage stamps issued in respect of the others also. We'll have to see how it shapes out. One of them, Dakshayani Velaidan, is the only Dalit woman in the Constituent Assembly. She was the youngest member also of the Constituent Assembly, and she says, like, and she has actually faced the brunt of not only the inequality but also the due to the being a Dalit, she had to face a lot of harassment also in her schooling and colleges. She says in one during her college days, there was a group there was an organization that came for fundraising for abolition of untouchability, and she aptly told them that I would not contribute to this because you are the ones who have to abolish the untouchability. So I mean, she has. If you really see, like she says, that working of the Constitution will depend upon how the people will conduct themselves in the future, not on the actual execution of law. It says so. What is written is on paper is meaningless unless it is implemented. So, like this, you have Durgabai Deshmukh, who was a champion of women's education. Then, as Vinay said about Hansa Mehta, how she even changed the outlook of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And these days we take for granted. We are sensitive about gender representation in whatever we say. But those are the days. I mean, if you see the American Constitution also, it is, I mean, it's biased in favor of the men. So, we have a set of remarkable women. If you see the Begum Aizaz Rasool, she was the only Muslim woman in this Constituent Assembly. She is from a Punjab Zamindari family, and she fought for abolition of Zamindari and again, the enactment of this law. So a lot of inspiration one can derive by just remembering these great personalities. And it is very apt that this has come out. At least now there is a spotlight, and the present generation gets to know. Otherwise, there is always the fear of us forgetting the past. And as I say that those who forget history are condemned to repeat it. So I'm very happy that this organization has come forward and brought out this set of picture postcards.